With this session update, I'm Shannon Lurkey. This week and next, the Republican-led Senate is bringing their major funding bills to the Senate floor. Today, members of the Senate held a lengthy debate on the Judiciary and Public Safety omnibus bill. Here are some highlights.
I'm going to vote for this bill because for far too long, survivors of sex assault and sexual abuse have not had a voice, and legislation is finally getting through this bureaucratic, obstructed process and going to see the finish line. For far too long, they didn't have a voice at the table, or their voice wasn't being heard. But this bill definitely does not meet the times that we're living in. And by I mean we. I mean all Minnesotans. There are definite necessary provisions that are missing from this bill.
I think this is a critical bill, and I've heard a number of folks talk about there should have been more. There's always should have been more. And as far as getting police accountability measures, more police accountability measures, or more of the things that people wanted, that part of that has to do with the fact, Mr. President, members, that in the very beginning of session, as I tried to reach out and see what the lay of the land was as we were going to navigate through COVID, we found out that all the nonpartisan staff were not going to be here, which slowed down their work about half, and I really instructed all of the chairs to reduce the expectations of the things that you want to get done. It's our constitutional duty to pass the budget, and if we don't do that, the government shuts down, and we've got to get that done. And so that was our priority: getting the vaccines out, getting everybody back in school, getting businesses up and running. But that doesn't mean the rest of these things weren't important. They are important. And when we had the death of Dante Wright, it created a tremendous pressure, but it doesn't change the fact that we need to get our work done. And so that's where I talked about listening to the governor and the speaker, and that I said it's a goodwill gesture. And the reason why I said it that way, members, is because I know the responsibility that we have to do and we have to get done. But as I think about, I've heard mentioned twice that two black men have died before the police. I heard that twice today, and every time it's tragic. I think it's roughly 250 black men roughly a year around the country. And we will have a conversation about that. But I also said that I want a conversation about the other side of that issue, the riots and the destruction of property, and did the police handle things much more, were they more prepared this time? I want to have a conversation about that, and I want to listen. And the reason why I say that is it's not one complex problem, it's a number of complex problems. And I wonder if people know how many police officers in the line of duty died last year. Anybody have any idea what the number of police officers died in the line of duty last year? It was 340, which was up more than double the prior year. And so that's another problem that we have. It's one of the riskiest, most dangerous things that you can do is to be a police officer, and less people are interested in doing that, and we've got to figure out that one as well. Because as I've talked to people in Minneapolis and St. Paul, a bunch of them say, we don't want less police. We don't want to defund the police, though some of the people that represent them have said that. They don't want that. And so this is complex, and we're not just going to jam it in the next 4 months, or I'm sorry, 4 weeks, but we are listening. And
we tend to have a handful of days in the Minnesota Senate that really stay with us. And I think this is going to be one of those days for me, for a variety of reasons. We've heard a lot of very thoughtful discussion about the issues facing Minnesotans, all Minnesotans. I was talking earlier to one of our new members about when we have to choose, how are we going to vote on these omnibus bills? This is less of a challenge when you're in the majority party. Sometimes it is a bit of a challenge, but in the minority party, this happens more frequently. Because these are, by definition, a collection of provisions that many of which we're going to agree with or not agree with. It's a mix of the good and the bad, and how we go through that decision-making process. And I've given a lot of thought on this bill. You know, sometimes there are obvious reasons to vote against an omnibus bill when it is full of provisions that are counter to your values. Sometimes you say, wow, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I can absolutely lend my support to it. And there is a lot of good in this bill. There's an offender ID, a provision that provides IDs and medications to people who are newly released from prison. And that's a good thing. We need to support folks who are making that important transition and help them succeed. As we've talked, the criminal sexual conduct reform, including the amendment offered and passed by Senator Sandy Pappas, that is going to make a tremendous difference to victims of sexual assault. But when you think that there's a lot missing, there are some key Office of Justice programs that are not in here. The survivor support and prevention grants, innovation and community safety grants, youth intervention programs, those are incredibly valuable and help Minnesotans. A discrimination hotline is not in here, and the Office for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women was rejected both in committee and in Senator Kunish's amendment today. And so you look at that on balance, but ultimately in this case, it is this question of what is missing. Senator Murphy mentioned what's in the House, so I'm going to mention what's written here in the Senate, right up there. Daniel Webster reminds us that we should perform something worthy to be remembered. We have that opportunity in this moment, and we should be doing more in the Judiciary and Public Safety bill that is coming out of the Minnesota Senate. We need to have more meaningful steps that will keep Black, Indigenous, and people of color safe, to give them justice.
We don't always agree on this floor, but we keep advancing. And I may want to bring up a few statistics because we're reacting to some very painful events that have happened in the last year, especially with two events that I think should never have happened, but nevertheless, they did. When I was putting this bill together, those things were in the back of my mind, but also a headline that came out in February. And this was in February, first week in February. Violent crime soared by 21% in Minneapolis last year. Now that figure is now moving upwards of 29% if you add on what's already happened this year in that city. And this is not to pick on the city of Minneapolis, but it's to tell us that bad events, tragic events don't just happen at the hands of police officers. There is a threat that's much more universal when you look at the stats and say 5,422 violent crime incidences, including homicide, rape, robberies, aggravated assaults occurred. That's Minneapolis police statistics. A dramatic jump, says the reporter, over the previous 5 years. I read that and my heart actually sunk, because I hope we're not getting worse as a society, and we have to do something about it. And how do we react when we have all of the infrastructure of law enforcement, of the courts, And we try to make it a priority because many of these things are constitutionally mandated. But nevertheless, are we getting better? Are we reacting better? And I want to thank Senator Kent for making the comments that she did, because it emphasizes, and I would agree, we're in an ongoing, not only an ongoing discussion, we're in an ongoing battle to protect our citizens. And we don't always get it right. And we're all human, and there will be failure in that human frailty. And nevertheless, we keep coming back, and we keep improving, we keep doing as best as we can. We had a target, a budget bill that was a low target, and we started out with that. I want to thank you, those of you who voted for it. I hope those of you who didn't recognize the challenge that is. And I also know that we're not at the end of the session.
To continue following these issues and more, watch legislative coverage Monday through Friday on the PBS Minnesota channel or visit our website, www.senate.mn/media.